Kaya kaway-kaway na sa weekend. We're into the holiday season and we hope it doesn't get too hectic for you guys. Take it easy. Ako po, si Denise.
Sabihin nyo rin sa atay nyo yan, take it easy. I am Lourdes de Vera, ikalimang araw ng Disyembre. Sa dinami-dami ng mga nangyari, sino-sino na ang mga nakasuhan sa Ombudsman. Pang-ilan pa lang. Daon na bang magbitiw yung mga, sabi nila, ginagalang. At sino pa kaya ang mga susunod na pangalan? Ito na ang programa na Tight and Right. Ito na ang Afternoon Delight.
Okay, today is the first Friday of December at 20 days na lamang po until Christmas. Nako, ang tanong, hectic na ba ang mga schedule nyo, yung mga deadline, Christmas parties, reunions?
Sa iyo muna. Sobrang hectic na ba?
Hectic na kasi alam mo naman may pupuntahan tayo, no? Next week.
Ayaw nga pala,
Oo.
pupunta ka pala sa Alabang.
Pwede rin.
Pwede rin. Kukunin mo yung mga gamit mo ron. Oo. Hectic. May mga party na hindi ako makakapunta. Kasi tumaon sa ating programa.
Ayun.
Trabaho muna.
Syempre.
Bagong saya.
Lalo na, no? Hectic din ang ating news cycle. Here are some developing stories. So, unang-una, may binabantayan tayong bagyo at alam natin, no, na yan ay may pangalan na Wilma or Tropical Depression na Wilma. We will be talking more about that later on in the program. And
At nag-level up daw ang wind signals. So, abangan natin yan kung ano ang mangyayari at kung ano-ano mga lugar ang mga maaapektuhan. Kasi tatawid talaga yan sa Kabisayaan at lalabasin sa northern part ng Palawan hanggang papunta sa West Philippine Sea.
And of course, we are also waiting for our word from The Hague as to, or today, December 5, is the deadline given to a panel of health experts to report on former President Rodrigo Duterte's health condition. The ICC, or International Criminal Court's pretrial chamber, wants to find out if the defense panel's argument is true that Digong is unfit for trial for crimes against humanity charges due to cognitive challenges.
Yan.
So December 5 ngayon, malalaman natin, ano?
So, mga medical experts ang certify kung may problema nga ba, no? Sa isang banda kasi, may mga nagsasabi na hindi raw, no? Medyo sensitive daw ang kondisyon. Sa kabilang banda, meron ka naman yung mga anak na magsasabi na, ay, hindi, wala. Parang maayos siya.
Okay siya kausap, mga ganyan. Oo.
Working against their favor naman kasi yun, no? Anyway, mga kapatid, abangan po natin yan. Eto pa, yung mga hindi pa rin nabibenta ang mga kotse ng mga Diskaya, may pag-asa ka pa, partner.
Talaga ba? Hindi kaya ng budget,
Up for auction today. Pero sa totoo lang, halos 50% off, no? Yung presyo niya kasi kung makita mo raw yung urig na presyo.
Milyon-milyon ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, no?
Pero my God, ano?
Oo.
Sige mo yung presyo ng isang ano.
At iba-ibang klase talaga, no? But again, alam natin, ito yung mga vehicles na nakuha sa mag-asawang Diskaya. But speaking of the Diskaya, Sara Diskaya and others will be charged with malversation according to the Office of the Ombudsman. That's over an allegedly anomalous infrastructure project in Davao Occidental worth 96.5 million pesos. And we will have more on that story in a bit from our mobile journal, Arles de Los Santos.
Marami kasi nagtatanong, bakit yung sa Davao lang? Dami-dami na lang mga proyekto, di ba? Na sinasabi natapos na raw, pero pag tiningnan mo, at nakakubra na ng pera, pero pag tiningnan mo, kailan lang sinimulan? Parang sa Davao, parang the week before lang sinimulan yung proyekto, pero naka-signify doon, completed at nabayaran na. Ayan. Alright, as promised, we have the latest from the Office of the Ombudsman from Mobile Journal, Arles de Los Santos. Arles, come in, Arles. Gandang hapon.
Magandang hapon, Lord at Dennis, no, ay ngayon nga nakumpirma natin na pinasasampahan na, no, ng kaso ng Office of the Ombudsman, kasama dyan ang kontraktor na si Sara Diskaya, no, at 8 mga opisyal ng DPWH doon sa Davao Occidental, kaugnayan noong natagpuan umano na ghost flood control projects sa Occidental, sa Davao. Nagkakahalaga yan ng 96.5 million pesos, pero nung in-inspeksyon wala daw ito, no, hindi natagpuan ito doon, no, kahit tag na ito na completed. Meron tayo ditong information, Lord, no, na ito yung binisita ni na Secretary Vince Dizon at noong present pa bilang special advisor si Mayor Benjamin Magalong, no. Na-discover dito na meron daw tila sabuatan at pagpepeke ng mga dokumento dahil tag ito no as completed. January 2022 na award ang proyekto sa St. Timothy Construction na pag-aari nito ni Sara Diskaya, and on the same year, September, kinumpirma na natapos na daw ito. So that's 2022. 23, 24, 25, 3 years after niya, no, nang pinisita nga ito ni na Secretary Vince Dizon, wala raw silang natagpuan na kahit at least before lang daw, parang 3 weeks ago lang nagsimula yung paggawa dito. Parang nung nagsimula daw yung investigasyon sa flood control probe, doon lamang sinimulan. Kaya naman doon sa pinagsama-samang testamento at affidavit ng mga testigo dito, no, sinabi nga nila na wala silang nakitang construction dito bago pa magsimula itong investigasyon sa mga maanomalyang flood control projects ng pamahalaan. Pero Lord, hindi lamang yun, no, hindi lamang basta kaso ito. Inirekomenda rin ng Office of the Ombudsman na maging no bail ang kaso na ito. Ibig sabihin, habang dinidinig at gumugulong itong kaso, mananatili sa piitan kasama si Sara Diskaya at yung mga 8 na opisyal ng pamahalaan, no? And then yung ilan sa mga DPWH officials ay naisumite na rin, no, ang kanilang preventive suspension for 6 months ay para daw hindi sila mangialam o alisin o magkaroon ng mga aksyon, no, na maaari makakompromiso sa isinasagawang paglilitis para sa kasong ito.
Okay, dalawang tanong, Arles. Marami nagtataka kung bakit sa dinami-dami, mga napag-usapan ng mga proyekto, yung mga lugar, meron sa Bulacan, meron sa Mindoro, etc. Bakit yung sa Davao ang naunang makasuhan na proyekto involving the Discayas? Pangalawa, bakit si Sara lang at hindi kasama si Curly?
Unahin ko dun, Lord, no, yung kung bakit si Sara lang. Kasi si Sara daw yung para nakita nila doon sa papeles na may-ari nitong St. Timothy, no? Pero kailangan daw i-bridge yung gap, no, na kasama din sa incorporator or nagpapatakbo ng kumpanya itong si Curly Diskaya, no. Meron kasi sila, kung di tayo nagkakamali, parang 8 ata, no, hindi bababa sa 8 ng mga kumpanya na pag-aari nila, no. Then itong sa Davao kasi actually pangalawa na ito, no, na case filing mula sa Office of the Ombudsman. Mas sufficient yung mga ebidensya dito. Nakita nila yung ilan dito, no, meron silang mga falsified umano, no, na mga papeles na nahanap kagaya na lamang ng ilang mga papeles kagaya na lamang ng accomplishment reports, fraudulent billing documents at mga endorsed disbursement vouchers na hindi naman daw talaga natapos yung proyekto. So yung mga ganitong papeles, Lord, na nakalat itong Office of the Ombudsman, kaya siguro mas nauna yun ito. And siyempre, pag ghost flood control projects, ibig sabihin wala talaga doon sa lugar. Kaya mas mabilis siguro yung kaadaloy ng kaso nito at kumpara doon sa ibang mga iniimbestigahan pa rin sa ngayon.
Arles, may balita ka ba at addressed ba yung sinabi naman ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla na 1 to 2 months na lang daw ang ICI? Tama ba?
Sinubukan natin makuha yung pareham niyan. Ay yung sagot, no, paglilinaw ng Ombudsman Jan Denise ayon sa kanila, kay Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano, ipapaubayan niya na, no, kay Ombudsman Remulla ang pagpapaliwanag dito. But at least sa nakita nating panayam kanina, no, ni Remulla, ito daw yung parang 2 months matatapos na yung probe nito sa mga flood control projects. Pero kasi kailangan nating linawin hindi lang kasi mga flood control projects ang iniimbestigahan at iimbestigahan, no, ng ICI. Lahat ng infrastructure projects yan for the past 10 years, no. Kaya naman ayon kay retired General Azurin na ngayon ay special advisor ng ICI, kung ito man daw ang mangyayari, kung mag-i-stop na talaga, no, yung kanilang operasyon sang-ayon na rin sa EO 94, rerespetuhin naman daw nila yon. Pero sa ngayon ay pagpapatuloy daw nila ang kanilang trabaho ayon na rin sa mandato na inilabas ng Pangulo.
Nasagap mo na rin ba yung balita from Yusek Claire Castro na nag-guest sa One Balita Pilipinas na na-release na raw ang 41 million pesos na budget ng ICI at hindi raw mag-resign si ICI Special Advisor Rodolfo Azurin?
Tama ka dyan, Denise, no? Parang a month ago na actually na-approve yung budget nito, no, na-approve ng DBM and then parang Office of the President yung panggagalingan nito. Nung nagtanong-tanong tayo doon, nung mga nakaraan, hindi pa raw downloaded. So we will now check with the ICI kung nakuha na ba talaga nila ito, no? Pero fresh na fresh pa lamang sa ating panayam kahapon kay ICI Commissioner Babe Singson na wala pa rin pondo itong ICI at volunteer workers pa rin ang kanilang mga kasama doon na nagtatrabaho sa isinasagawang investigasyon. Then doon naman sa resignation ni ICI Special Advisor Azurin, wala raw itong katotohanan at magpapatuloy ang kanyang trabaho sa ICI dito para nga magbigay linaw, paliwanag at mapanagot ang dapat managot. So kung 2 months na lang daw ang natitira para sa ICI ay tatapusin niya raw ito.
Okay. May balita ka, Arles, tungkol doon sa pangalawang auction ng mga sasakyan ng mga diskaya.
Yes, Lord. Alam mo, ngayon nagpapatuloy. Kanina nga, nagsimula na yung bidding, kalawang bidding process dito sa mga sasakyan ng mga diskaya. At sa huli nating tala, 2 sa 4 na mga sasakyan ang nabenta na rito. Nagkakahalaga yan ng 9,500,000 pesos. Hindi pa natin alam kung sarado naman yung bidding, at least at last time we checked. Pero asahan natin na kung may matitira pa rin na hindi pa rin sold dito or na ibebenta ng mga sasakyan, maaari na direct auction na yung kanilang gagawin, And then after nyan, kung hindi na talaga ito mabebenta, mapipilitan ang Bureau of Customs na sirain na ang mga ito.
Oo, naalala ko dati, sinampola nila, may bulldozer. Or pison ba yun? Talaga makikita mo yung Porsche, sinasampulan talaga nila na dinudurog dahil. Hindi pala ganun katibay ang Porsche pag ginulungan ng pison. Anyway, maraming salamat sa ating mobile journal, Arles de los Santos. Thank you, Arles. Alright, in case you missed it, House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos appeared before the ICI, or the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, yesterday. And here's what transpired.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this honorable commission?
I do.
Presidential son and House Majority Leader Congressman Sandro Marcos appeared before the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, but the live stream of the hearing lasted only a few minutes. His lawyer requested an executive session, saying the congressman could provide information more freely in private.
We again request that for an executive session for Congressman Marcos.
We grant your request, so we will adjourn the session and go into executive session.
Congressman Marcos agreed to release the video recording of his testimony to the ICI. According to Sandro, the commission did not summon him, nor is he the subject of any investigation. He says he appeared voluntarily to assist in the probe into the flood control scandal.
Wala po akong tinatago, so I am happy to assist them in any way, shape, or form.
He was previously accused by former Ako Bicol Representative Zaldico of inserting 50 billion pesos into the national budget from 2023 to 2025. But as he had repeatedly done in the past, Congressman Marcos again insisted cause allegations are lies.
I did not do any such a thing. Kung nakikita nyo po yung listahan, may mga project dyan sa Davao City nakalista sa Davao City. Alam naman natin sino nakatira dun, ba't pa ako maglalagay ng projects dun?
Aside from alleged budget insertions, a report by the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism said Marcos supposedly received 15 billion pesos in allocables, funds from the DPWH distributed to districts for infrastructure projects. The report called this a new form of pork barrel. Congressman Sandro was asked about it, but he did not respond.
Report on your allocable. Thank you.
If Sandro appeared before the ICI even without being summoned, Davao City 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte initially said he was open to an investigation into projects in his district. But he later on announced he would not appear before the ICI, saying the commission has no authority or jurisdiction over lawmakers. He claimed Malacanang is using the ICI for propaganda and that non-allies of the administration are being turned into punching bags. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
Moving on to other news, Tropical Depression Wilma maintains its strength while moving towards eastern Visayas. It was last spotted 235 kilometers east of Borongan City, eastern Samar, with winds of 45 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 55 kph. Wilma may make its initial landfall or pass close eastern Visayas or Dinagat Islands between this evening and tomorrow morning. It will then continue to traverse Visayas until Sunday, December 7. Areas under signal number 1 are now flashed on your screens.
All right, down south, classes have been suspended in most towns and cities in Cebu as the rains continue due to Tropical Depression Wilma. And for the details, we have our man in Cebu, Dale Israel. Dale, kamusta na ang panahon dyan ngayon?
Maayong hapon, Lord and Denise. Light rains lang yung na-experience natin across Cebu since yesterday. Though no strong winds have been recorded, there were observed heavy rains this morning across a lot of areas here in Metro Cebu. In Liloan, Barangay Kabadyangan residents have been encouraged to voluntarily evacuate, while in Talisay City, authorities are closely monitoring cracks in the upland barangay of Lagtang for a possible landslide. Schools in 36 out of 51 towns and cities have been suspended. They have suspended classes due to the continuous rains. Sea travel is also affected. The Philippine Coast Guard has suspended all trips in the ports of Cebu City, San Remigio, Danao City, Toledo City, Santander, and Bogo City. This includes routes, again, to Bantayan Island, Camotes, Negros, Dumaguete, Masbate, and Sorsogon. The Cebu Port Authority, which operates separately from the Filipino Ports Authority, also suspended all fast craft trips to Ormoc and Bohol. Stranded passengers were recorded last night, but many have opted to go home this morning due to complete travel shutdown. There are about 211 stranded passengers left housed in Barangay Tinago, the designated place for stranded passengers. Local authorities continue to respond to the impact of Tropical Depression Wilma, which has brought persistent rains and hazardous conditions across several areas in the province. The Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office of Alegria, together with the Municipal Tourism Office, has officially announced the temporary suspension of all river-related ecotourism activities. This includes canyoneering, river trekking, swimming, and waterfalls activities. Alegria is currently under a yellow heavy rainfall alert, which may lead to sudden river swelling, flash floods, landslides, slippery trails, and other dangers across ecotourism sites. Authorities also urging tourism operators and guides and visitors to strictly follow the advisory for everyone's safety. Another public advisory has been released by MDRRMO Alegria that Polo Cambonok Road is now closed due to an active landslide triggered by continuous rains. Motorists are advised to reroute and use alternate roads to avoid danger. In Talisay City this morning, Mayor Samsam Gulias has called on residents to remain alert for possible evacuation should conditions worsen. Manang River was the one that overflowed during Typhoon Tino, which devastated a lot of communities in Talisay. Meanwhile, along the Central Highway, minor landslides have been reported in several areas, with some sections no longer extreme caution there at the Trans-Central Highway. The Trans-Central Highway is an important access road from Cebu City going to the west coast of the island, specifically at Balamban. Local governments and disaster offices across Cebu continue to monitor the developing weather situation and are expected to release more updates later on in the day. And this has been what's happening here in Cebu. Back to you, Lord and Denise.
Oh, ang galing ng report ni Dale. Kumpleto na, wala tayo halos kailangan tanungin. Epekto ba yan itong ongoing na seminar conducted by the Australia Broadcasting Corporation dyan sa mobile journalism? Can you tell us about it, Dale?
Yeah, tama, Lord. Mga 20 journalists from across the Philippines na may training on mobile journalism at saka artificial intelligence or AI technology. Ito ay 2 araw na pagiging may discussion, may sharing sa lahat ng ginagawa ng mga journalist sa makabagong concept ng mobile journalism na ginagawa ngayon ng maraming newsrooms sa buong Pilipinas. Lord.
Dale, sorry ako curious lang ako. Yung tinuro ba ng mga Australians ay sobrang ibang-iba sa mga pinapractice natin dito pagdating sa pagiging mojo?
Actually, pare-pareho lang yung ang ginagawa nila doon sa Australia na tinuturo dito sa atin. The same pa rin, yung solo ka na kukuha ng balita at solo ka rin magre-report at ikaw rin ang mag-set up ng yung sariling equipment pagdating sa pag-reporting din. Pare-pareho lang talaga yung ginawa nila.
Dapat yata tayo magturo sa kanila kasi sa atin may challenge pa tayo. Mahina ang signal, maraming lugar, di ba?
Pero kumpletong report.
Tama.
Alright. Okay, so good luck, Dale. Sana ma-share mo sa amin ang knowledge na nakuha mo dyan. Thank you sa ating One News Cebu Desk, Dale Israel. Tinuro rin kaya yung i-unmute muna bago mag-report. Siguro. Time out muna, marami pa kaming kwento po sa inyo. Magbabalik po ang Afternoon Delight. Thanks. Alright, this is still Afternoon Delight on One News. Ako po si Lord de Vera.
At ako naman po si Denise Tan. Magandang hapon pong muli.
Alright, onto the news. Malacanang says it has not yet received any information about the ICI allegedly having only 1 to 2 months remaining. In an interview, Ombudsman Boying Rimulyo predicted the ICI dissolving soon after it has done its mandate of probing the flood control scandal. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro also said that the 41 million peso fund for the ICI is now with the fact-finding body. She clarified that the budget department had already released the fund way back September but was delayed due to the modified disbursement system. And Castro added that President Marcos Jr. respects the resignation of ICI Commissioner Babe Singson and thanks him for his service. Meantime, former PNP chief and ICI special advisor Rodolfo Azurin Jr. denied rumors of conflict with the commission's members and clarified that he will not be resigning. But there was another resignation and it came from the Department of Justice as Undersecretary and known Marcos aide Jojo Cadiz stepped down amid allegations connecting him to flood control anomalies.
Hindi ba dapat ikatuwa ng tao, ng taong bayan? Kung meron mang mga tao na kaalyado ng Pangulo at kapag ka na-involved, kahit wala pang desisyon o wala pa man judgment, ay umaalis, hindi po ba mas magandang tignan yon? Mas maganda po yon dahil ibig sabihin, hindi nagtotolerate ang Pangulo kung meron mang mga taong maaaring nasasangkot, although wala pang judgment. Hindi tulad ng mga nakaraan, kahit nandiyan na yung mga pangalan, nag-i-stay pa rin. Kahit malaki na ang issue about sa korupsyon.
At this point, let's get the latest from the House of Representatives, where we have our mobile journalist, Amy Atienza. Amy, what's the latest from your end?
Yes, Denise, patuloy talakay ng ilang mga mambabatas ang issue ng flood control at korupsyon sa bansa. Sa inilabas na survey nga ukol sa pamamalakad ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, pumatak sa 21% lamang ang satisfaction rate para sa presidente. Ito raw yung pinakamababa na rating na nakuha ng Pangulo sa kabuuan ng kanyang termino. At naniniwala nga ang Makabayan Bloc na binubuo ni na ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino, Gabriela Women's Party Representative Sara Ilago at Kabataan Party List Representative Redeco na dapat pang magampanan ng Pangulo maging ng kanyang opisina ang responsibilidad na mabigyan ang publiko ng buo at kompletong pagpapaliwanag, lalo na sa sunod-sunod na resignation ng cabinet members. Kaugnay yan ng pagbitiw ni Jojo Cadiz bilang Undersecretary ng Department of Justice. Ayon pa nga kay Tino, ang patuloy na pagtanggap daw ng palasyo sa mga resignation ay mistulang parang pag-amin na may laman nga raw ang mga sinasabi ni Zaldico sa video statements na kanyang inilabas sa kanyang Facebook page. Kinokondena rin ni Tino ang refusal ng Malacanang na higit pang magbigay na eksplanasyon sa publiko. Para naman kay Sara Ilago, unnecessary daw ang pagbibitiw sa pwesto ng cabinet members. Aniya, the resignation solves nothing if there will be no thorough probe into their involvement in the flood control scandal. Kinakailangan daw talaga na maimbestigahan ang lahat na nasasangkot ng walang exemption. Samantala, mungkahin na rin ng Makabayan Bloc na magpakita sa Independent Commission for Infrastructure o ICIC Davao Congressman Paulo Duterte. Kung maalala kasi natin, tinanggihan ni Duterte ang imbitasyon ng ICI dahil naniniwala siyang pamumulitika lang daw ito. Pero para sa Makabayan Bloc, hindi nararapat na takasan ni Duterte ang kanyang responsibilidad na maipakita at maipaliwanag sa publiko kung saan nga ba napupunta ang kanilang mga pondo. Paalala rin nila ito sa lahat pa ng mga mambabatas na bilang mga kinatawan, tungkulin ng bawat isa na maging transparent at accountable. Sa huli, panawagan pa rin ng Makabayan Bloc na bigyang focus nga ng pamahalaan ang social services ng bansa tulad na lang ng edukasyon, pati na rin ang kalusugan. Lalo na ngayon na inaasahan na nga rin natin na magsisimula na ang Bicameral Conference Committee sa susunod na linggo, particularly by December 11. Denise?
Thank you for that report, mobile journalist Amy Atienza. Meantime, here's a quick rundown of more stories on One News. The Philippine Statistics Authority reports that headline inflation in November eased to 1.5%. The rate is lower than October's 1.7% and falls within the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' projection range of 1.1 to 1.9% for the month. This brings average inflation from January to November to 1.6%. Transport Group Manibela says it will hold a 3-day strike from December 9 to 11 to protest what it calls LTO abuses against drivers. The group cites frequent apprehensions, alleged extortion, and the non-release of plates and impounded vehicles even after fines have been paid. Manibela adds that strike could extend through Christmas or even until the end of the year. President Bongbong Marcos has appointed Lito Magno as acting director of the National Bureau of Investigation. Magno, who previously served as the NBI's officer in charge and assistant director for legal service, first joined the bureau in 1991 and rose to director rank in 2010. He replaces retired Judge Jaime Santiago. And the Sandigan Bayan has acquitted former PNP Chief Alan Purisma and 16 others of graft charges over the alleged anomalous 2011 courier deal. The court's 6th division ruled that prosecutors failed to prove Purisma's liability and presented insufficient evidence to support the allegations. Purisma, who faced accusations of favoring Werfast Incorporated, despite regulatory red flags, declined to give a full statement after the hearing but said he was, quote, feeling good.
Meantime, the 9 Filipino seafarers from the MV Eternity Sea who were held hostage by Houthi rebels have safely returned to Manila just in time for Christmas. Here's the report.
9 Filipino crew members who were held hostage by the Houthi rebel group arrived in the Philippines on Thursday night. In July 2025, 8 other crew members had already returned to the Philippines. 3 crew members were killed and 1 remains missing. Families warmly welcomed the 9 seafarers upon their arrival. The crew members were aboard the MV Eternity Sea, which was attacked by the Houthis in July. The cargo ship was sailing through the Red Sea toward Somalia to deliver food for the World Group program when it was targeted by the rebel group.
Kahit medyo natagalan, ay sa wakas ay makauwi na ang ating mga kababayan. Welcome home sa inyong lahat. Tamang-tama, Merry Christmas.
The government has pledged financial assistance for the Filipino seafarers, along with free medical and psychological consultations. They will also receive livelihood support and help in restoring lost documents.
We know na mababakante sila in terms of work as they really need to spend time with their families after their ordeal. We will be providing counseling and medical assistance also. Of course, nag-offer na si ASEC Glo, but we also have our OFW hospital. Meron ding matter on their belongings, documents, government IDs and documents being lost, lumubog kasama nung barko. So I think it will be tomorrow. We'll have some sort of a one-stop shop. We'll call Pag-ibig and all those other agencies na SSS na nawala yung mga IDs nila para under one roof makausap na nila yung agencies to restore all their lost documents.
We also give you a quick look at stories from our media partners. On the Philippine Star, the Senate has passed on second reading the proposed 6.793 trillion peso national budget for 2026. That's just in time for the third and final reading before bicameral deliberations next week, which senators want live stream. The upper chamber is looking to pass the final budget on Tuesday, December 9. And on Business World, the Philippines has sharply lowered its export targets for this year until 2028. That is amid geopolitical tensions, renewed trade barriers, and persistent disruptions in major shipping routes. These factors continue to squeeze global supply chains and dampen demand. For more details of these stories, you can visit the social media pages of the Philippine Star and Business World. Do check out as well the social media platforms of One News PH for the very latest news.
All right, another news, we have TV5's statement on the termination notice for its content supply deal with ABS-CBN, which reads, when ABS-CBN lost its franchise in 2020, TV5 gave them a home. When Eat Bulaga lost its home in 2023, we welcomed them into ours. We have always been a kapatid to anyone in need.
TV5 recognizes the value of ABS-CBN's well-loved programs to our viewers. However, their failure to meet their financial commitments to us has made it very difficult for us to compensate our own employees, talents, and partners who help deliver these programs to your homes. Our content agreement with ABS-CBN requires them to remit on a timely basis TV5's share of revenues they collect from advertisers.
And these amounts collected, our share being held by ABS-CBN for TV5 has reached such material value as to severely affect TV5's ability to settle its own obligations. Despite our repeated appeals, ABS-CBN has failed to pay what is due. Neither have they given assurances nor indicated that they can or will.
To be clear, we value the partnership with ABS-CBN and as part of the same industry, we understand ABS-CBN's financial difficulties. But TV5 is also faced with its own challenges. We need the funds owed to us to continue serving you, our viewers. Our leniency as well as forbearance must now yield to the realities of this business.
And to you, our viewers, rest assured that we are committed to serving you with the best programming, no matter what ensues from all these issues. Nananatili kaming tapat sa inyo, mga kapatid.
Again, this is Afternoon Delight on One News. We just need to pause for another break. We'll be right back.
you are still watching Afternoon Delight. Thank you for staying with us.
And our delight of the day ay empanada.
You know.
Oo. Masarap yung mga empanada ngayon kasi sobrang dami ng na variation, di ba? Chicken, beef, pork, may corned beef pa. Iba pa yata yung corned beef pa.
Iba pa yung vegan.
Hindi ko pa na-try yung vegan.
Vegan empanada? Seryoso? Well, hindi siya ganyan. Mas flaky, mas light.
Okay. Akala ko vegan.
Okay.
As in,
Gusto ko
walang
sana sa para vegan, pero hindi. Tatawanan ako ng mga friends mo di ba?
Oh, grabe ka naman.
As in, vegan steak, or vegan meat, or vegan diet, yun kasi pareho halos yun.
Oo, iba pala.
So, sabihin natin, Ilocos Empanada.
Gusto ko
para
rin
mas
yun.
malinaw.
Gusto
Yun
ko
nga
rin.
yun.
Oo, gusto ko rin
So,
yun.
ilang longganisa ang pinapalagay mo?
Double ako doon.
Ay, grabe siya.
Bakit?
Double egg, double vegetables. Alam mo, complete meal yun.
Yun na nga di ba? Kaya para talagang nakakabusog. Tapos ang magdadala doon, suka.
Yes.
Sarap.
At hindi lang basta-basta kahit suka. Yung,
Ano?
sukang Ilocos dapat.
Ayun. Okay, pero ito ang ating merienda. Parang natakam tayo sa ibang klase
ganyan,
empanada.
anong favorite mong flavor?
Ako, gusto ko chicken.
Ako rin. Pero favorite ko dyan sa kamuning. Sa Lucky 21.
Alam mo, nung bata ako, ma-share ko lang, nagpapagawa ako nito dati, walang laman. Yung tinapay lang, gusto ko lang siya. Tapos yung ito, favorite ko yan. Gusto ko lang.
Yung crust?
Yung dough lang, oo. Ganyan pa din, ifo-fold pa din siya. Tapos gusto ko to yung tinutupi-tuping yan.
I see. Tingnan mo to, parang may dalawang mata.
Ano nila yan? Yan ang palatandaan nila, which is which. Kaya lang...
Pero ba't kailangan dalawang mata? Parang mata tuloy.
Bakit?
Parang dalawang dots. Direct, pakita natin.
Sige nga.
Alam mo, parang tuloy siya may buhay, di ba? Parang ayoko tuloy siya kainin.
Gusto mong lagyan ko ng smiley. Talagang parang hindi mo nagalawin.
Ito nga, parang may frown siya, Alam ko na mamaya, patikim natin kay Gerald Anderson.
Sige. Okay, sige. Habang abangan natin yan, daanan muna natin ang ating mga storya on social media. Unang-una, on the Philippine Star, the Philippine Statistics Authority has listed down the top-paying jobs in the Philippines according to the 2024 Occupational Wages Survey.
Sige nga. Ano bang number one?
Piloto, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, nakita ko
Average monthly wages.
Oo, ayan.
Naligal kasi walang contractor dito na nakasulat ng DPWH or district engineer ng DPWH. Okay, ang aircraft pilot daw, ito according to ano ba ito?
Mukha, oo.
Sige, number one. Aircraft pilots. 137, round off natin, 138,000 every month. Diyos ko, every week lang ni Dinistan yan
Ang OA.
Sunod doon, may kinalaman pa rin sa aviation. Air traffic safety electronics technicians. Mababa lang ng ilang libo. Ganyan, Next, ito may kinalaman sa chemical. Legal to chemical engineers. Next, ito si Edson, mathematicians and financial professionals in insurance and pension funding. May tawag sila dyan sa field na yan.
Ano?
May maalala ko yun. Basta it's predictive. No? So, 99,154.
Okay, kasama rin yung mga programmers, applications programmers in insurance and pension funding. Nasa halos 96,500. Web and multimedia developers for the entertainment industry. Nako, napaka-specific pala nito, 79,000. Applications programmers for telecommunications and information system, nasa 74,000 halos. Mathematicians ulit, financial professionals in telecommunications, nasa 71,000. And software developers for publishing, nasa 66,000.
Publishing?
Oo. And industrial and production engineers in the electricity, gas, steam, and air conditioning supply industry, nasa halos 66,000. Average naman to ang sabi.
Wala ka dito, para nabababaan ako.
Feeling ko rin, kasi yung sa mga piloto pa lang ang alam ko, pa yan
Tsaka may mga managers na mas malaki ang niyan. May mga may mga, seryoso.
Iba yung naisip ko.
Mga top-level management.
Oo.
Na managers na twice pa, no? O baka natatakot lang sila magsabi. Anyway, ito pala, pag ang average monthly wage no, ng mga full-time employees sa Pilipinas, nasa 21,554 lang. Sabi, no? So isipin mo, magkano ang bag? Bag na... So inisip ko, di ba, talagang para maka-afford ka ng mga luho sa buhay, kailangan mo talaga manggulat.
Oo, mahirap kasi ang dami mong binabayaran, di ba? The roof over your head, the electricity, tubig, pagkain. Tapos syempre, may mga pamilya, kailangan nila magtabi para sa...
Magaling sa math, di ba?
Oo.
I-divide mo a month yung 22,000, i-round off na natin.
Okay, divided
Tapos isipin mo
by...
yung Noche Buena sa 500 pesos. Punta na lang tayo sa chemical engineers.
Okay.
Para mawalan ka ng gana kumain.
Ganon?
Mhm.
O sige, puntahan na muna natin. Ako, ito, nakita ko to kagabi. On the Philippine Star via live, Cloud Dancer. Yan po ang pangalan of the Color of the Year for 2026 according to Pantone.
Ano ba ang, pagdating sa color, medyo mahina
Ako rin eh, pero it is described as...
Ethereal white.
Yeah, the shade is meant to inspire calm and contemplation. By the way, white is a color of protest for the trillion peso March movement.
Nung nagbago yung font, kala ko sisigaw ka eh.
Hindi.
White!
Naka-all caps kasi.
So, ang Cloud Dancer ay... Ba't parang pink yung tingin ko?
Talaga ba?
White ba talaga siya?
Oo. Kasi kanina nga iniisip ko, ito ba ipasok sa off-white? Pero parang... Hindi ko na rin alam eh.
Cloud.
Teka nga, nasan ba? Nang mas makita ko ng mas
Saan ba
malaki.
yung mga clouds? Ang clouds ay... Depende, no?
Para siyang may tint of parang light blue na parang gray. Baka kaya baka
Akala ko
kaya
dati,
sa clouds.
yung Pantone shampoo.
Ay, iba yun.
Seryoso. Akala ko talaga. May bago silang flavor.
Iba ng letra. Isang letra lang. Bluish white daw.
Ano bang silbi ng mga Pantone na ito? At ano ang benepisyo nito sa buhay ng ordinaryong Pinoy?
Ano nga ba? Kailangan nating masagot yan. The million-dollar question.
Pinag-usapan natin to last year.
Hindi ko na maalala.
Ako rin eh.
Okay lang. Ito na lang alalahanin natin. Malapit na po ang Southeast Asian Games. And with that, Team Philippines is geared up to compete with one of its strongest athletics lineup. Para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho.
With the 2025 Southeast Asian Games just days away, the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association is making its final push, fine-tuning preparations and setting expectations as the country gears up for one of its biggest delegations yet. The Philippine athletics team will field a total of 61 athletes, with most of the teams set to fly out on December 9, with competitions running from December 11 to 16, and from sprints and hurdles to pole vault and long-distance events. The Philippines is bringing a strong blend of experienced veterans and promising young talents. For the first time since 2023, race walking is also back on the program.
So we have now we have 3 athletes competing in that event. We have the Philippine record holder Carlos Diimos, young very race walker Seb Placido, and also a promising athlete Bianmar de la Cruz.
Leading the charge is two-time Olympian EJ Abiena, fresh off a gold medal performance at the Atletang Ayala Pole Vault Challenge. Abiena enters the SEA Games holding both the Asian and national record of 6 meters and comes in with a season best of 5.8. He will be joined by 4 more Olympians who solidify the country's push for podium finishes. After finishing the last edition with 4 gold, 10 silver and 8 bronze medals in 47 events, the Philippines is determined to raise the bar. But behind the lineup is months of quiet, consistent work.
We made sure to plan a bit earlier. Also, we ensured to have like a SEA Games training camp. So we started late September until now. This year we're positive and prepared to compare to the previous one.
With the team on its way to Bangkok, Atafat reminds fans that their support means a lot to the athletes.
We ask for continued trust, support, and prayers for our athletes. So win or lose, your encouragement, all the Filipino fans out there means a lot to them.
Kapatid Denise Valdesancho, we are One News.
Okay, thought exercise. What happens if all of a sudden we lose our connection to the internet? That's exactly the story behind the upcoming Metro Manila Film Festival entry, Reconnect. And here to talk about it, ang lead star po at co-producer din at nung katabi ko, kala ko, nananalamin ako. Si Gerald Anderson joining us live here in the studio. Welcome back to Afternoon Delight, Gerald.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Ayan.
Thank you for having me.
O sige, before we talk about the movie, ano nga, sa totoong buhay, paano ka nagre-react pag hindi ka makakonect sa internet, especially in your kind of job?
Siguro may konting panic yan kasi maraming nakasalalay yung trabaho natin sa internet. I mean, almost everyone sa ngayon. But that makes the concept of Reconnect beautiful kasi dati hindi naman tayo ganyan di ba? Dati wala namang internet, wala namang social media. So, ang premise of the story is paano pag nawalan tayo ng internet 10 days before Christmas. Yeah.
Exact, ganun yung plot sa
Yeah, yun yung plot.
10 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
So, each day ay may nangyayari? Paano ba yan?
Well, hindi naman siya. It's just, it shows like, paano tayo reconnect sa mga loved ones natin, sa trabaho natin, with ourselves. Kasi, syempre, ang daming distractions yan sa social media, sa Facebook, o kung ano man platform. But, and even comparing our lives with other people's lives through social media, di ba? So, and how does social media impact a modern day relationship?
Tell us about your character here.
Yun nga. Sa akin yung love story kami ni Charlie Dizon. We're trying to show kung ano talaga yung impact ng social media sa modern day relationship. How does it affect it? And does it kumaga, is it for the better? Kasi syempre tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, you're comparing your relationship sa relationship ng iba. Sa nakikita mo sa social media. So, hindi naman lahat ng malungkot or pangit side of the relationship pinapost yun, di ba? So, yun. And is it, do we know each other? Do we spend time, like a deep bond? May mga nakikita ka nagde-date na nasa isang restaurant, mamahalin na restaurant, pero nasa cellphone sila. Nasa social media sila. Or inuuna nila yung pag-post ng pagkain kaysa, di ba? It's really modern and nangyayari talaga yan.
Okay, so madami palang parang self-reflection dito.
Yes.
Okay. Pero like you personally, because we know you're not just a lead star, you're also, this is your debut as a film producer. Paano nabago na yung, I guess, yung perspective mo and yung atake mo with this?
With this project? Well, like kanina umaga, pagising ko, hindi ko na hinahawakan ng hinahanap yung cellphone ko agad. Kasi through this project, I learned na parang, parang hindi mo naman kailangan mag-social media agad Or, iba rin yung pakiramdam, parang gumaan din yung pakiramdam ko kasi taking a detox from all of that. Kasi hindi natin namamalayan na parang, wow, parang medyo mabigat din. And not just for a celebrity, but for even yung mas ordinary yung tao. You know what I mean?
Pero hindi ba, people of your status, you have people to do that for you? I mean, if social media engagement for work.
Yeah, meron naman. Pero iba pa rin yung nagsiscroll ka, yung mga fina-follow mo or yung inuubos mo yung oras mo sa social media, iba naman yun. And which happens.
That's right.
Pag si Gerald Anderson may suot ng Casio World type, parang
Iba ang
mamahali.
dating.
Ba't ako nagsuot yan? Para ako hampas lupa. Mukhang peke pa. Oo. Okay. So, bakit ito yung naisip ninyo na entry para sa MFF?
Well, first of all, kaya ako rin gusto maging part as a producer kasi entry siya ng MMFF. Maraming mga pumasa ng concepts but only 8 projects ay makapasok sa. So, isa kami sa napili, which is a big privilege. So, sabi ko, made me even more motivated to be part or co-producer dito. And the concept, yung story, very now. Marami makarelate dito. Ang goal namin is sana paglabasin na ng sinihan, all the emotions, pag-love, kilig, family values, makukuha nila. But at the same time, parang sana there's questions like, parang kapag huwag tayo tumutok masyado sa social media araw-araw,
Yeah, kasi ang nagiging trap ngayon, as soon as you wake up, you're doom scrolling and you don't even realize 30 minutes.
30 minutes na lumipas, hindi ka pa nagtutoothbrush.
And that's how you're gonna start your day.
Exactly. And I've been a victim. Ako rin, isa ako sa mga ganun. That's why I really wanted to make this film. At favorite holiday season kong Pasko. And this is the only Christmas movie sa MMFF. Yeah.
Parang may pattern na nag-emerge lately sa MMFF Di ba dati ang mga hit talaga yung mga fantasy, mga
Yeah.
Ngayon, nanunumbalik yung mga family-oriented.
Yeah. I mean, isa din yan sa mga goals
At
ko.
yung isang top grossing also starts with the first 2 letters. Are.
Aha.
Oo. Alam niyo na kung... Matandaan, i-google nyo na lang yun. Google nyo pala. Yung pala pinag-usapan natin.
Diba? Bawal nga eh. Actually, may character kami doon, si Miss Gloria Diaz. Kahit in this modern day of social media, hindi wala siyang cellphone, naka-landline siya.
Si Miss Gloria?
Yung role niya. Yung role
okay.
niya.
Akala ko sa totoong buhay.
Hindi siya nag-Google search, so meron siya lang yung may library doon sa bahay niya. Dictionaries, full of dictionaries. So nung nagkawala ng internet, sa kanya tumatakbo yung mga tao.
Galing.
Yeah.
Pero to begin with, pwede mo kami ganun bakit nawala ng internet bigla ang buong mundo?
Di ko pwedeng sabihin yan kasi may glitch. Let's say may glitch. Malalaman naman nila sa pelikula. Pero may glitch na nangyari.
Akala ko Globe yung nag-sponsor.
Dapat eh. Naka-live ba to?
Sinabi ko Globe.
Oo. Okay, sige.
Kasi yung smart, mabilis.
Siyempre, napakaganda niyan. Oo, the best.
Double down pa.
Okay, sige, maybe you can also talk about Buy Bus and your upcoming project.
The series, ha?
Yes, actually, fun fact, na nabuo yung konseptong Reconnect nung nasa set kami ng Buy Bus. Nasa loob-looban kami ng Zambales, walang signal, walang wifi, walang internet. All we had was a Starlink. Pero nagka-problema or nag-glitch siya.
Kita mo, diba? Sa Pilipinas ang pumapalpak ang Starlink.
And then nakita ko yung panic ng mga tao nung walang wifi, walang internet. Yeah. So doon nabuo sa set. And we're very excited for Buy Bus. We're still shooting, may mga ilang scenes pa. But 2 days ago or 3 days ago, nirelease ng Netflix yung teaser namin.
Oh.
And grabe talaga si Eric Mati.
Same plot ba? Yung like the Buy Bus the movie?
Same character. Well, si Anne naman yung same character ni Anne, but different situation. Yung Pilipinas is under federalism. So may mga states.
Talaga federalism talaga.
Yeah, may mga states. May maliit na isla which is called Matungaw. Doon tinatapon lahat ng mga adik, mga kriminal. And my character, ba't ko kinukwento? Ewan ko kung pwede ko ikwento sa'yo. Pero my character is fighting na dapat patas-patas. Walang mayaman, walang... Kung basta kriminal.
Ikaw yung komunista doon. parang zombie apocalypse pero mga junkie yung...
Yeah, something like that.
Bago pa siya may makwentong iba. Baka gusto mo na lang imbitahan ng ating mga viewers.
Yeah, well, sana po ay, sa MMFF, lahat, lalo na this year, nakita ko po lahat ng movies ay maganda. Gawang Pinoy. So, suportahan po natin lahat. Pero syempre, unahin po natin ang Reconnect. Isama po ang buong pamilya. This is a family-oriented film. Napakaganda ng konsepto. At yun po, ay sana po mapanood nyo. Reconnect. Ngayong Pasko, December 25 sa MMFF. Merry Christmas po sa inyong lahat.
Produced.
Yes, sir.
Co-produced by Gerald Anderson.
Yes, sana po manood kayo.
And directed by Jade Castro.
Yes.
Written by?
We have beautiful writers from reality, and we teamed up with them para gawin tong and Jade Castro is our director, and also marami din siyang input sa storya. So sana po ay mapanood nyo.
At wag abangan sa streaming, panood.
Wag.
Lahat
ng... Kasi wala nga internet, di ba? So hindi nyo mapapanood sa streaming. Sa sinihan lang.
Okay. So may tanong ka pa ba kay Mr. Anderson?
Madami ka pang iikutan? Pwede pa
Last ko na for today. Last ko na for
Bakit
today.
yayayain mo ba siya?
Hindi, baka kasi mga viewers natin gusto rin manood ng ibang programs natin dito.
Yeah, last ko na for today.
Alright.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Reconnect lead star, Gerald Anderson. Thank you, Gerald.
Salamat. Thank you.
Ganda na kanya.
Thank you.
Thank
Diba?
you.
Napansin niyo pa talaga.
Alam ko na kasi pinalitan niya ng
At kahapon ko na nabili to. Kahapon lang. Don't joke.
Color yan. Minod
Sige, habang pinag-uusapan.
Watch words. Alright.
Okay, and speaking of the MMFF, our entry for the Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino is holding a media conference at 5 p.m. The film stars, among many others, ultimate heartthrobs Piolo Pascual and Enrique Gil, and is directed by Raymond Red. Manila's finest, a crime thriller movie, is produced by MQuest Ventures and Signal TV.
Baka nalito sila kanina.
Ano? Oo nga, halos magka-same shade pa naman kayo ng suot. Okay, that will have to do it for us this week. Thank you for watching Afternoon Delight. Have a great weekend, everyone. Ako po, si Denise Tan.
Join us again on Monday, 2 p.m. Huwag malito, hindi po ako si Gerald Anderson. Ako po si Lourdes de Vera, kapatid. We are One News. All sides, all the time. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and happy weekend.